Okay, look, I hate to be the one to have to tell you this, but someone needs to. So, your goals, they suck. In fact, it's your goals and the lack thereof in some cases that are the reason you are struggling to get freelance writing clients, to start a blog, to start a niche site, to start an e-commerce store. The whole reason, like, you get all excited and you make a little bit of progress for like a week or two and then you hit a roadblock and you stop, all comes back to goals. So today, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a better way to approach your goal setting so that you actually successfully build that lifestyle business and can do whatever you want from here to eternity. So rather than waste your time, roll the intro. Now, by the way, what do you think of this new close shave, Sean? Really, I had no intention of doing this, but I broke the attachment on my razor that's the size I like, and so now we're close shave. It's not really that close, but anyway, enjoy the new look for the next 4 days until it grows back. So here's the deal. I've talked about this concept in a lot of videos in the past, but I realize I'm constantly giving this advice, but I don't have a single video where I can point to that's like, hey, go watch this video. So that's what this is. It's my approach to goal setting that I think is the best way to approach goal setting, especially if you're a new entrepreneur. I call it the milestone mindset. So let's set the stage here. Most people, when they're starting an online business, they're thinking about, okay, I want to get out of my job. I want more freedom. I want more flexibility. I want to travel. I want to do the things that I like to do. Okay, what would be a good goal? I want to make $10,000 a month and be able to quit my job. Oh, and I want to do it all passively. Okay, on the surface, that seems like a great goal. Who wouldn't want to do that? That sounds great. But you saw the but coming. There's a problem with that. Let's say 3 months from now, you've made some progress on your business. Maybe you even got a client or two. You've made a little bit of money, but you're nowhere near that $10,000 a month goal, and you certainly haven't quit your job. What's the problem with that? You're going to see a big 0 for 1 on your scorecard for completing goals. You are at a 0% success rate in your goals. And so when that happens, you're going to be like, oh, this is kind of hard. I don't feel good about this. I'm not making any progress. And you get frustrated, and then you quit, and you go back to your day job from here to eternity, and that sucks the life out of you. I don't want that for you. I want you to actually feel like you're making progress, feel good about it, feel happy about it, celebrate the small victories, so that you can go on to a happier and more fulfilling life. So how do you do that? We do it with the milestone mindset. So look, I'm all about trying to make that, one big lofty goal. Don't forget about that. That's the end goal. That's the king goal. That's the thing you're working on from, trying to get to over the course of the next however long, year, 2 years, whatever it is. But when you're first getting started, you have to have smaller, more achievable goals, if for no other reason than to feel like you're making progress. For you to be able to look at the scorecard and be like, oh, yes, got a small win. Boom, I'm on the right path. So I call it the milestone mindset. So rather than setting one big lofty goal, set dozens of smaller goals so that every few days you're accomplishing something. So let's say you want to start a freelance site. You want to become a freelance writer. So you're going to build a freelance website, which we got a video right here you should go check out all about how to do that. Maybe it's over here. I can never remember. I always get my hands mixed up in this whole YouTube thing. It's showing up above or in the link down below. But I digress. Okay, so to use an example, let's say you want to become a freelance writer. You've got your goal, you want to make $10,000 a month, quit your job. That's great, table that for a second. There are all sorts of things you have to do in order to start a successful freelance business. One of the first ones is you have to set up a freelance writing website. So you should have a bunch of milestones that are easy to check off so that you feel like you're making progress. So buy a domain name, get a hosting account, install WordPress, install your theme, get a custom logo, write your first blog post, write an about page. I mean, right there. You got 8 goals. You got 8 milestones that you can do, and you can do all that stuff in like a weekend. And so let's say that throughout this, by the end of it, you've got 100 different milestones. You got 100 things you have mapped out that you need to do, and hopefully by the time you get to 100, you have reached your goal. you can do 8 of those in like a weekend, like a week. You can bang that out. So already you're like tick, 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 tick. I feel like I'm making progress. Things are looking good. So the whole goal when you're starting a business is to get momentum. It's to get that ball rolling so that you want to work on it, so that you're excited about it, and some of the smaller setbacks don't affect you quite as much. So by setting a bunch of attainable milestones, you're going to be able to feel like you're on the right path, even if you haven't quit your job and even if you aren't making a full-time living from your writing. Also, one of the best things you can do when you're creating these milestones is to make it action-based rather than outcome-based. So it's easy to say, I'm going to have a goal of landing my first client. That's great. Keep that milestone, but the majority of your milestones should be based on things that you can do and you can control. You can't control when your first client comes to you. It could come to you tomorrow, it could come to you next week, it could come to you next month, or maybe even next year. What you can control is your marketing, your outreach, the actions that you're taking to get you closer to that goal. So a better goal might be, I'm going to send 10 letters of introduction this month. There you go. You can control that. Another one might be, I'm going to apply for 10 jobs on freelance job boards. Great. You can control that. If you do more of those things, if you set goals and milestones like that, then you will get closer to reaching your goal of getting your client. But you can't control that one milestone. So it's fine. You can leave that in there. You can make that one of your milestones, but make sure everything else around it are actions that lead up to that. Okay, so let's put this into action right now. You've got your king goal. You got your big end outcome-based goal. Put that at the end of the list. I want you to come up with 10 milestones, 10 things you can do that are going to get you to that point. So think about the beginner things, the things you can start today that are easy to check off and start building that momentum. Once those things are done, think about some of the intermediate term things. Maybe it's some of the marketing related things, the outreach related things that are going to get you closer to making, a full-time living doing this. And I want you to think about the long-term things. Once you have a little bit of money rolling in, what are all of the things that you can do from that point on? I want you to think of 10 of them, outline them. And then, over the course of the next week, as you're looking at these things, as you're thinking about them, I want you to have 10 more in between each step. So in the beginning, you might not have as many, but think about actions you can be taking each and every day, each and every week to create a bunch of small milestones. So the first one might be send your first letter of introduction. Then you might have another milestone that's send 10 letters of introduction. Then it might be 50, then it might be 100, then it might be 200. So that right there, that can be like 10 milestones going on something like that. And if you get to the point where you've sent 200 letters of introduction, you're going to start to have some clients. So it could be write 1 blog post on your website. Then it could be write 5 blog posts, then 10, then 25. You get the point. So have a bunch of milestones that are action-based, allow you to feel like you are making progress so that you're not just looking at the scoreboard and being like, I've been putting all this time and effort into it, but I've done nothing. I've made no progress. It's a lot better to have 100 milestones and be like, hey, cool, I've done 27 of these. I'm 27% of the way there, as opposed to 0% of the way there. You get me? Feel that? You see what I'm saying? Doesn't this make sense? It does make sense. So go adopt the milestone mindset. Don't lose sight of your big, lofty goals. That's great. Those are the things you need to focus on. One day, I'd love to own a Ferrari. That's on my goal. I'd love to do that. That's awesome. But that's not the thing I want to dwell on, because I'll be dwelling on that for a very long time. I got a lot of goals, a lot of milestones between here and there. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit subscribe. We got new videos every Monday and Thursday. There's a little notification bell right over there by the subscribe button. Hit that so you're notified every time we have a new video. And if you enjoyed this one, give this video a thumbs up. If you're still not sure what type of business you want, if you're like maybe freelancing, maybe blogging, maybe e-commerce, then we got a playlist that you'll be able to find somewhere right here. It's just 3 videos. Watch that, and by the end of it, you're gonna have a better idea of what business is right for you. So check it out. Check out locationrebel.com. We'll see you on the next one.